What's up, everyone? It's me, your host, Victor Herrera, and welcome into Three Putt Golf Show. As you can see behind me, we have the John Deere logo. We have the John Deere Classic coming up this week, but we're going to be talking about a little bit of everything. We're going to talk about the PGA Championship last week and NG Chun putting on that brave performance by her. We're going to talk Travelers Championship, how our man, Sahith Theegala, let us down, but where he can grow from and how he can get going in the right direction. And then we're going to also talk about this live golf. They got an event happening this weekend here in Portland. Things are going to get really interesting. And then we're going to preview the John Deere Classic. I want to show you what exactly is going on and who to be on the lookout for this week. Once again, I want to remind you, we are presented to you by Legacy Maker Sports Network. We got all your sports needs, folks. Come on down. NFL's about to be coming up. We have it all. We have NASCAR, and you know golf, hockey is what I do. We have it all. Check us out. If you haven't liked or subscribed to our channels, then go ahead and do so. But we're going to get started in the LPGA. NG Chun held off Lexi Thompson to win the KMPG PGA Championship for the women's. And she did it with a very, very impressive first round score. I mean, she tied the first round score with the 64. She set herself apart from the leaderboard right away. 8 under, was number one. And she did what she had to. She just stayed where she needed to be, maintained the lead, and got it done. Her putting was phenomenal. There were some times where later in the tournament, you did see that young, inexperienced in her come out, but she had got that first round lead, and that's all she really needed. Once she got that big enough commanding lead, she just had to maintain, and that's what it took. Yes, American Lexi Thompson tried to come up and try to snatch it as a veteran as she is, but she couldn't quite get it done. And it goes back, starting strong. You know, you've heard me talk about it with Tony Finau. You've heard me talk about it with other members on the PGA Tour, where they just don't start strong. They kind of get going that third, maybe even fourth day, but starting strong is key. That's how you win tournaments. Yes, you can win tournaments whenever you don't start strong and you work your way to it, but you got to put yourself somewhat in contention. By her shooting and tying the lowest round ever in that PGA Championship history, that helped separate her from the field immediately. You had players on the PGA Tour such as Justin Thomas, such as everybody who is big name on the tour, tweeting out, talking about how they couldn't keep their eyes off the leaderboard, that this was absolutely insane. And I'll tell you this, as an advocate for women's golf, it's absolutely huge that they have this type of performance. You know, in all honesty, I believe she should have been shown all over ESPN, on all channels, ESPN News, ESPN2, ESPN, should have been shown everywhere. But we didn't get quite that publicity, but we're headed there. We're headed in that direction. You know, them adding to the purses in the LPGA, that's something that's happened that hasn't happened. We haven't talked about since. They added to the purses, making it quite comparable to the men's side. And these women are starting to get paid. And when you're getting somebody in a major championship in the LPGA to go out there and shoot 8 under on the first round, it makes it exciting. It makes it more easy to market, I should say. And congratulations to her as she got it done. Like I said, getting that start on day one paid to be vital for her. It was the reason why she won, because she really didn't do much. She stayed right around 8 under the whole tournament. And that's about all it took for her to win. Like I said, Lexi Thompson is a veteran of this tour. She's done so much for the women in golf and has helped carry the LPGA brand for a little while, as she was the number one player. But to starve off somebody like that, you're doing something right. So congratulations, NG Chun, as she got her first major victory. Now, before we get all involved in the PGA, I want to talk to you about this live golf. There's a lot of mixed feelings, and I get it. There is. One thing I want to say for all the people that say, well, what about the politics in it? Everything's going to have politics. Everything's going to have politics. Everything is going to, there's always going to be a reason to not do something. People are asking, well, how can you play for somebody with blood money? Okay, this is the bottom line. This is the way I see it. I know people aren't going to see it the way I see it, but this is the way I see it. It's no different than your average Joe, your best friend, your neighbor. You work at the same company together. You've worked there for 15 years. You're good friends. A new company comes in and offer more money. They may do things different. They may have a different outlook on it. The sources may come from somewhere else. But if they come to you and they're offering you a better chance at a quality of life for your family, because that's what Live Golf is doing. They're only playing 8 tournaments a year. They're not playing all this golf, meaning you're not away from your family. And they're offering you a salary guaranteed money that's a lot more than what you were making, and sometimes a lot more than what people make on their career on the PGA Tour. Why wouldn't you be happy? Why wouldn't you be happy for that buddy, that neighbor, that friend of yours that got an offer like that? I like this team format. I like, more importantly, to be honest with everybody watching, I like the 54 holes. 72 holes is just too much. Yes, it worked back in the day, but times are changing. You have to be able to adapt to your environment. And to be honest, a lot of people nowadays, they just don't have the patience to sit and watch 4 days of golf. I do. My wife doesn't. I do. I like watching golf. More golf, the better. But a lot of people, especially if you're trying to grow your audience and grow your fan base, you aren't going to be able to do that only by playing 4 days of golf. 54 holes is more than enough to establish a champion. I also believe not having a cut is nice. Everybody's in the tournament. Everybody plays the 54 holes. You get it done. Everybody walks out with a little bit of money. That is very nice. My biggest thing is 54 holes. And I want to go back to that. 54 holes. That's a whole nother day that these players are going to be able to spend with their families. It's a whole nother day that can be used on generating stories, providing coverage from the studios. The people working can spend time with their families. 3 days of golf is plenty to see who is the absolute best that day. Think about it. This past week, Travelers Championship, Xander Schauffele basically led the whole tournament. He did. And by him doing so, aside from Rory Mcilroy right before he got his disastrous start, his disastrous hole on 12, we basically felt like it was his to lose. Hands down. Yes, my man Sahith Theegala came back and made it interesting. But Xander ultimately went on to win. He was the better golfer that week. He executed when needed. We didn't need 72 holes to see that. 54 is good enough. And I like that about this Live Golf. Dustin Johnson, he signed for $125 million. Tiger Woods only made $121 million while he played. There's a big difference. And I get today's day and age is getting paid more than 15, 20 years ago. But that's the thing. These guys have to continue to grow. I mean, they're getting what they feel is worthy, and they're doing it for their family. How can you hate on somebody for doing it for their family? When this issue with the Live Golf comes up, my only response is, what has the PGA done for their players? They've been talking about it for a while, but what exactly has the PGA done for their players? Now, I'll give credit to Jay Monahan that he's came forward and said, hey, we can't compete with the Live money-wise. We can't. There's no way we can compete with them. Okay. Well, if you can't compete, then you got to compensate somehow. And they did. They're going to have 8 additional events next year, $20 million purses. They're going to raise purses. And this is kind of how I see it. A lot of people can relate to the NCAA about this. But if you're able to make these moves this quickly, because you're seeing a lot of your players go to the Live Golf League, where was this before? Why is it taking this and all these extreme circumstances, players leaving, players wanting to leave, all this pressure on you to finally get something done? Like, I don't understand it. I wish you would have just listened to them from the get-go. I wish you would have just made changes as the years go by, year by year, reevaluate. Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. It shouldn't have to take this. And that is my issue with the way the PGA has handled it. I don't think they did anything completely wrong. I like the PGA. They do a lot of great things. But this one, you got to call a spade a spade. The ball was dropped. They waited too long. And now people all are excited that things are being changed, but they can't be too excited because why has it taken it this long? But the Live Golf is exciting. I mean, the winner of the very first tournament won $4.75 million, like for 3 days worth of work. Can you believe that? The team format is exciting. I like Team Aces this week, which consists of Dustin Johnson, Patrick Reed, Pat Perez. I like them. I also like Fireballs. You got Abraham Answer, Carlos Ortiz, and Sergio Garcia. You have them on that. But Aces, I think they're going to be able to get it done this week. I think all of these new faces being in, as well as a Matthew Wolf, who just decided to join the Live Golf League. It's exciting. It's an exciting time for golf. Let's give it a shot. Just give it a shot and see. There needs to be competition. We need to see the PGA do more for our guys here to keep them here. Now transitioning over to the Travelers Championship last week. It was a very, very exciting weekend. I truthfully enjoyed seeing Rory Mcilroy continue his dominance. You can tell right now he has all the confidence in the world in his golf game, all except on hole 12 when he collected I believe a quadruple. It was not a good hole for him. Until that point, he was in control. I mean, he hit like 8 under the first day. He was on track to hit another 8 under. Like, he was in the driver's seat, gonna get things done, but he just couldn't sustain it. After that hole on the quadruple, it just got away from him, and it sucks, but it did. One guy that it didn't get away from was Xander Schauffele. He did have a couple of bogeys out there this weekend, especially down the stretch, which definitely led to the little bit of drama that we saw between him and Sahith Theegala. But he knew what to do. And him playing alongside his best friend Saturday, Sunday, Patrick Cantlay, definitely helped him feel more comfortable. You know, Xander Schauffele did get a win this past year. He got a win, and by that win, he was able to get another win since 2019 underneath his belt. And it's been that long. He hasn't won by himself, though. He had to have Patrick Cantlay to win in the team event in the Zurich Classic in New Orleans. But 2019 was the last time that Xander Schauffele had won straight outright by himself. There's never been a time, though, where he can't convert. That's the big issue. He's always been one that can increase leads, sustain leads. However, he's never been able to convert on the leads. And this week he was able to do that. It was very nice. It was very satisfying to see him finally get that win. But I want to go back and talk to you about Sahith. Sahith kind of stayed around the bunch all the way through the tournament. Post like a 3-4 under, 3 under. He kind of worked his way up into that area. On that last day, you could see he looked like a veteran that had complete confidence in his game. He looked like somebody who might just have enough to spoil the upset. I mean, if you go in knowing that the guy that's in the lead is known to blow these types of leads and you're right there and you're at the peak of your game, then why not have that confidence? I mean, you're on the PGA Tour. They just don't give anybody a card to play on that tour. So why not have that confidence? You know, Thigala did an interview after, and he loved the course. He loved the fact that he could hit it low and let it run in the fairway and keep it in the fairway. And it just didn't happen on hole 18. I don't know if y'all got to see hole 18 of Sahith Theegala, but it was one of the biggest letdowns, I would say, for a young player like that. You know, he's in talks, which we're going to get to here in a bit. He's in talks on Rookie of the Year this year. I mean, he's posted some extremely good numbers. He's needed help with his wedge play, and that's kind of what happened. You know, he hits the drive that he's been playing a cut all day. All week, he was doing that. It was a low cut that would come back, and it just didn't cut, and it ended up right on the edge of the bunker. Well, you know, he tries to get out. That would have been that's his second shot. He blades it, stays in the bunker, hits his third, finally gets out, hits his fourth up there. Now he's looking for bogey, misses the putt, double bogey, goes from 19 under, one shot lead, to 17 under. You know, it's that type of story. Like, this young kid was extremely well at the Waste Management Open in Phoenix, and this is whenever people really found out who Sahith Theegala was. They really started taking a liking to him. They learned about his story. They learned about his demeanor, and people have really rooted for him since then. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I have. He's been a huge part of the PGA's young players coming up. It's his rookie season. He's learning how to be a professional. He's doing great things. But many question, why did he hit driver? Well, he hit driver because that's kind of what he's been doing. Now, I won't question his decision-making. I'll just say the truth. The truth is that the day before, he went right with his driver. Now, he must have felt confident, but the situations just kind of didn't add up. The end of that tournament ends with Xander realizing that, I now have a one-stroke lead. I just need to make par. Well, Xander does what Xander does, and he gets up there into and makes a birdie. He sticks it close, what he had been doing all week long, and makes the birdie. Patrick Cantlay, however, did not have the day that he was hoping for, as he was right there with Xander. They were neck and neck, and he kind of fell off. He had like 3 or 4 over that day, and he couldn't quite take off the way Xander did. Xander Schauffele won, and in his interview, not only did he win the tournament for the first time since 2019 individually, he won it on his anniversary. It was his first year anniversary, being married to his wife. So congratulations to Xander Schauffele on the anniversary and winning the Travelers Championship. Rory did go on to make some noise, but you could definitely tell after that quadruple, he just didn't have it anymore. He couldn't quite get it back to where he was, getting that 8 under and continuing to go low. But he's definitely got all the confidence he could have in his game right now. He's hitting it well. And, you know, he's one of these players that's very outspoken about this LIV Golf Tour. He's been very outspoken. He's been very outspoken, not just on the tour, but Greg Norman himself. He's been an advocate for the PGA. Next, I want to talk about this. We'll do the Rookie of the Year. So, you know, right now, Rookie of the Year, you have Chad Ramey, who has won a tournament this season. You have Mito Pereira, who has finished third. He was the one that had a lead in the PGA Championship and then blew it at the end. He played his college golf at Texas Tech University in Lubbock, Texas. He is somebody who's going to make a lot of noise on the PGA Tour to come. And then you have Davis Riley, who was second with 6 top 10s and has made 17 out of 24 cuts. And you have Cameron Young. Cameron Young is a phenomenal talent. He's going to be around a long time. He has tied second 3 times so far on the tour. He has top tens, 5 of them, and he's made the cut 13 of his 19 times. And lastly, you have my man, Sahith Theegala. Sahith Theegala's best finish is tied for second, which happened this past weekend at the Travelers Championship. He has 5 top tens, and he's made 20 of his 25 cuts. You know, of course, Ramy did get that win, and that's huge. That could play huge. But, you know, I personally feel Cameron Young and Sahith Theegala are going to be neck and neck for this. Now, if Mito can come out and get a win at some point, then he puts himself – he basically almost locks it in if he can get a win, I feel. Yes, I understand Davis Ramy had the win already, but I don't think he's done enough. Even with that win, he hasn't really quite made all the moves that I feel are needed for a rookie of the year type caliber person. Because, you know, he's only posted 2 top tens, and he's not even made half the cuts that he's played in. He's only made 10 cuts, and he's made 23 starts. So it's kind of one of those that he just hit it on the right week type of things. But all in all, he got a win. And if you get a win, then you get to go to the Masters. You get all these invitations to these more exclusive major tournaments. So it's going to be interesting. Right now, if I had to pick, I love Sahith Theegala, but I got to go with Cameron Young. Cameron Young, 3 top tie for second finishes is huge, especially in your young rookie career. I'd have to go with Cameron Young. The only way Sahith or Mito win it is that they got to break through. They got to get a win. Perfect segue into the John Deere Classic, because my 2 players to watch this week are Cameron Young and Sahith Theegala. And I actually have Sahith Theegala winning. I think Cameron Young can win. Don't get me wrong. I think he can win. But I have Sahith Theegala winning simply because I think his wedge play is starting to become more effective, and he's having a lot of confidence in striking the ball, not just with his driver, but with his 5-wood and his hybrid. He's able to put it in the fairway, and that's going to be huge. You know, Sahith Theegala went from the 120th ranked player this past week to the 66th world ranked player. And, you know, he's moved up. He's 37th on the FedEx Cup standings, and his average score is a 70. So he's right around 2 under. You know, his average birdie per round is a little over 3. So he's somebody who's consistently scoring better than par, which is huge on tour. I want to go back to what I said. You have to start this tournament in good conditions. You can't play from behind. You know, on the other side of that, what I will say is Cameron Young, he's fantastic too. He's getting it done. He's able to go after, and right now he's averaging 307, 310 on his drives. He's up there in the top 30s on his drives. Not only is he up there on his drives, he's also able to get it on the birdie side too. He's averaging more birdies than what Sahith Theegala is. Right now in his rounds, he's a little over 4 birdies per round. So both of these guys are young guys who can get it done, who can go after and really score very low on the tour. But Sahith Theegala will be interesting to watch. Before I continue, I did want to go back. I did not mean Cameron Young would win, be on the lookout for this John Deere Classic. I got him confused with Cameron Champ. Cameron Champ is my other one to keep an eye on this weekend. He's also played great golf in the majors so far this year and throughout this season. So Sahith Theegala is the one I picked to win, and Cameron Champ is the one that I have to keep an eye on. I think he can make things very interesting here at the John Deere Classic, especially at the fact that the John Deere Classic, it's a 71 par. It's not that long of a course, but you got to keep it very close to the fairways. And you don't have that thick of rough, but you do on the backside of these greens. So you got to make sure to hit. If you're going to miss, you got to miss short. I'm going to be complete. I don't feel like missing long at all would help you here. I think if you're going to miss short. Just don't miss in the bunkers. You don't want to get in the bunkers. However, these bunkers aren't really that extravagant. There's nothing that can't be done about these bunkers. There's nothing as far as like a open championship type bunker where it's 5 feet up and you got to just really punch it out somewhere. No, they're playable. Jordan Spieth had a field day here many years back where he went bogey free. He put on a spectacular performance. So it's a golf course that if you're confident in your game, you hit the right shots, you can score really low. It's not going to be something where a 6 or a 7 is going to win. I'm expecting about a 12, 13, 14 are going to win this tournament. And if not lower, these guys can light up this scoreboard for sure. But that is it for the 3-Putt Golf Show. Sahith Theegala, my man, I have him picked 22-1 odds to win the John Deere Classic. So he's starting to make a name for himself. He's starting to get up there. Cameron Champ is the one that I have to keep an eye on. Cameron Young is in the look for Rookie of the Year with Mito and Davis Ramey. Until next week, folks. Thank y'all for watching 3-Putt Golf Show. Sahith Theegala, go and get it. Tony Finau taking the week off. Had a good showing. I got to throw him in there. He's one of our favorites here on the show. But thank y'all for watching. Come back here for your golf news and check out the Legacy Maker